Alright, we got game 3 here going on between SG and Sync. This is a scrim series, of course, as SG taking a 2-0 series lead so far. Two pretty good games here. First one went for a while. Second game was a little bit more of an early victory for SG as they took a strong mid-game lineup and turned it into a nice mid-game victory. A couple of good team fights there around the 15 and 20 minute mark, and just Sync feeling like, we are not doing well enough here, we're too far behind, let's just go next. So strong performances so far here by SG, and we'll see if they can continue this in game 3 of the Scrim series, which I believe was 5 games. So that'll be fun. 2 more after this one. Bans are out: Sir Bennington, Ophelia, Tundra, and Pestilence. So Flen's learning from last game and saying, yeah, that Ophelia, kind of powerful, and we're not going to let you have it. And then they first pick Parasite, because SG really, really, really highly values Parasite. Which, I mean, I understand. I don't think he's as good as Tempest, and I'm not even sure if he's as good as Keeper of the Forest. It just seems to me like the team fight push heroes are so much more difficult to deal with, because ganks you can avoid with wards and by grouping up. Team fight and push is like, okay, either you face me or you lose. That's basically the options you have at this point. But SG and Swindle apparently feeling differently, feeling like Parasite is more valuable, and I mean, it's certainly a valuable hero, and as long as you're getting jungler, I don't really have an issue with the draft. Anyway. Bans for the most part, though, are pretty solid. So SG once again getting rid of that Bennington. Tundra being banned out as well, as Probusk is no longer here, as Sync, of course, as he did choose to leave the team, or he was kicked or whatever. I'm not even sure what happened, but let's not talk about it, because who cares. So he was their, Tundra player, really. Keizu can certainly play that hero as well, and perhaps SG feeling like, once again, let's ban out Keizu. That does seem to be a very popular strategy against teams that Keizu has played on. But I'm not that afraid of Keizu's Tundra. It's not like he's bad at the hero by any means. It's just, I've never really been like, oh my god, Keizu Tundra, that's insane. It's like Keizu Scout, yeah, that's insane. Like, he's insanely good at Scout. Warbeast, he's just fantastic. So, I mean, there are a certain number of heroes where you're like, yeah, don't like Keizu have that. But, I don't know, I never felt like Tundra was one of them. And that could be because he hasn't had that much experience playing that hero. He's sort of just come on the scene recently, but anyway, Ophelia and Patch of the Bans from Flensmeister, both of those obviously very sensible, as the picks are coming out here for the Legion side. Ravener, Engineer, and Parasite, and we're almost certainly going to see that Ravener Engie middle. Z-Freak will be getting that Engie, and Minot's on the Parasite. Swindlemone's probably taking the Ravener, so we're looking for a Suicide hero for Limp, as well as a short laner for Chessie. Vindicator being the first man here from SG as well, so lots of initiation potential there, lots of burst damage, pretty decent team fight with Engineer. Probably want to boost that up a little bit. They've got solid semi-carry potential as well for Ravener, so two weaknesses I'm seeing right here are the push, not that great so far in the push, and the team fight. So we'll see if they can pick up a couple of heroes to address both of those so-called weaknesses at this point in the second picking stage. But in general, a strong draft here from SG. Pharaoh, Pebbles, and Torture being taken out, or are being picked up here by the guys on Sync. And once again, choosing not to get a jungler early on. We'll see if SG chooses to ban out the junglers at this point. I assume that they will. I can't imagine that Swindle's going to be like, oh yeah, I'll let Tempest and Keeper get through because you didn't choose to pick up a jungler early, so I'll let you have one in the second picking stage. Especially considering Pharaoh has already been taken off the board, and Limp would be very good on that here once again, and it obviously would be a great counter to Tempest. So I'd be a little shocked if the last ban here on SG's side was not, in fact, the Tempest, but we'll see. Keeper of the Forest being left open, as we've really not seen him play in the jungle too often, so for some reason people feeling like it's not a viable hero. I don't know why. It seemed like he did pretty well in the jungle before. Obviously, very passive jungler doesn't tend to come out until level 6. But pushes well, team fights extremely well, and generally a very valuable hero. So if you don't have a jungler, then picking up a keeper, I think, doesn't make sense to... I mean, it does make sense. So Swindle, in fact, will leave the Tempest open, clearly feeling like they can deal with it. I'm not sure if I agree with that decision, but I would be a little surprised if Sync chose not to pick up that Tempest for his lapped. So We'll see what they choose to do. Anyway, Hellborn side, I never really talked about them, but really strong initiation potential, obviously, with Pharaoh and Pebbles, so strong burst, magic, and torture, one of the better zoning supports, as well as a strong mid lane support. So we'll see if it's that Pebbles torture mid lane with a jungler, or if they're going to put torture in the short, give Pebbles a different mid partner, and allow some zoning support there from torture, and forego the jungle option. Swindle apparently feeling like that's what's going to happen. Warbeast's going to be his pickup here, as I actually suspect it'll be on Chessie, as he does tend to play the Suicide Warbeast. But we'll see. Could certainly still be in Limp's hands, but the bans coming out here, Vindicator, Master of Arms, and Wretched Hag for the Legion side. So taking out some versatile heroes, really, Vindicator and Master, both potential supports and potential carries. Wretched Hag not so much on the support role, but can be played in any lane, so would certainly fit the Hellborn lineup well, providing strong initiation with both the Pharaoh and the Pebbles, lots of long-range jump potential with those, lots of burst magic damage, and some pretty solid lockdown as well. So, not bad bans by any means, all three heroes that are quite powerful at this point. Same thing for Hellborn's bans, but Master Kraken and Bubbles. Bubbles of Kraken obviously being, like, we can play in pretty much any lane type of heroes, and Puppet Master, once again, is he a carry, is he a support type hero? Riftwalker going to be the third pick, or the fourth pick here for the Hellborn side. So Swindle figuring this well, and realizing that Flens over there is not interested in drafting a jungler, as that almost certainly will be a Riftwalker support. You could still farm the Torture here at this point, and I guess you could farm Riftwalker, but I'd be really surprised if either of those things happen. I suspect that their last pick will be a short lane carry type hero, and it'll probably be Pebbles, Riftwalker, middle Torture, and in the babysit role on top for whatever they pick up for Flens. Legion side picking their last hero here could either be a Limp Suicide and give Chessie the Warbeast in short lane, although I don't suspect that will happen. I think it's going to be a short lane something. Or it could actually be Rav in the short lane. So this is where it gets weird, because SG tends to put Chessie on Warbeast and actually have him play Suicide, which is fine. Chessie's micro is crazy, so a micro intense hero like Warbeast in that Suicide lane is quite powerful, and Chessie certainly knows what he's doing in that lane, but it does make trying to predict what SG's going to pick in their last slot very difficult. Obviously, it's a very good thing for that team, but not so good for me, because then I can't look smart. So we'll see what they choose to go for. Soul Reaper's available, and I know that they, do tend to pick that hero up a lot. It does seem like when they pick Warbeast, it's often picked alongside Soul Reaper. It will in fact be Magnus, so I'm wondering here if this is going to be a Swindle Magnus. No, it's going to be Limp in the mid lane with the Magnus Engineer combo, Ravener in the short lane, Warbeast Suicide, and Parasite in jungle. Not bad. The only issue I really have with this at this point is they only have the one ranged hero, and that can be a bit of an issue when it comes to positioning, just the not having the having everybody group up onto one target. It's somewhat difficult with all these melees. So we'll see if that actually comes into play, but strong lineup here. As I said before, the push and the team fight were a bit of an issue before. Well, Warbeast pushes, Magnus team fights, so both of those heroes addressing what their weaknesses were before, and obviously the push being a little bit stronger here. Warbeast definitely a strong push hero. Magnus a strong team fighter, so his engineer gank potential is definitely there, and there's some solid carry, no doubt, with Warbeast being added there on top of the Ravener. So we'll see how this goes for SG, but I do like their lineup quite a bit. Meanwhile, on the side of Hellborn, Sandwraith being the last pick, of course, on top of Pharaoh, Riftwalker, Torture, and Pebbles. As I'm writing everything down. Not bad. Once again, they're not running the jungler, and that doesn't work, I don't think. They keep doing this, and they keep losing, so I don't know what their theory is, that, okay, well, if it didn't work before, if we keep doing it, eventually it will. And I get this is a scrim, so this is your opportunity to try new stuff, and so the Riftwalker, we've seen this a couple of times in competitive play, but no doubt this is a hero that is on the fringes, I guess, of viability is a good way to put it. So trying this out, certainly not a bad idea by any means. I'm just a little concerned about the dual support strat. Maybe they feel like, okay, well, we don't want to test her out in the solo support strat, because if she screws up, then that's the game lost. But again, this is a scrim, so that doesn't matter. So we'll see. But Sandrith actually heading bottom. Is this going to be a tri-lane? Yeah, this is going to be, well, Pebbles doesn't mind a lane partner. And I really would be shocked if this was not a dual lane middle from Legion, as I expect it to be a Magnus Engineer combination. So I kind of hope this isn't a tri-lane. This might be aggressive dual lanes here. No. Oh, yeah, it is. Pharaoh's heading top. So... okay, I guess that was because he got scouted out by the Warbeast Wolf, and he was like, alright, I don't want to give away this lane, but they pretty much already did. No, in fact, this is going to be Ravener in the middle, and will be a Magnus Engineer bottom, so... we'll see how this works out. I think SG is going to be in a bit of a disadvantage here in this middle lane, just because obviously this is a melee solo going up against dual lane. But on the other hand, you know, top lane's not going to go too badly for them, as Warbeast is going to be in a solo against Pharaoh, and he should do just fine against that. He won't be doing great. He'll have to deal a little bit with the Hellfire, and Pharaoh obviously in a 1v1 situation is extremely powerful, especially against a melee. But in general, just not going to be that big of an issue. And Warbeast actually could very well get better farm than he otherwise would. Nice pull here from from Keizu, trying to get the creeps in the lane. Not going to happen, as Warbeast is like, yeah, this is going to work. Like, I'm going to pull these creeps, and there's nothing you can do about it. Anyway, bottom lane is Magnus versus Sandwraith. We're going to see some support rotation here, in fact, as we have Parasite in the Woods, of course. So we're going to the Suitor tri-line here on bot is the Legion side. And Minus going to do some damage there to support on that Torture. Gets the ward down to block the camp, but mid lane obviously going to be a bit of an issue here for Ravener, as the burst damage, the stun, the general positioning issues, of course, with Riftwalker, all going to be an issue. Legion Curry actually dropping to support, and Minus trying to live here won't. He's going to die. So support getting a Bloodlust and a courier kill, and all of a sudden he's got all the money in the world. We'll see if Swindle can actually land a Ball Lightning here. Takes the stun. Ball Lightning does not hit, so support going to be able to get out of there just in time. And well played there from support on that Torture. And it does look like this actually might be a true running support engineer. It's interesting. Okay. What have I done? It's also possible he'll just settle down here. So it looks like Z-Freak's in fact going to settle down that middle lane, and this will be a 1v1 bot and a 1v1 top. As Torture spending a lot of his time just screwing with Minuts. Anyway. Falling initiation there onto Pebble. It's going to take the Kexen as well, and the turret going to take a lot of damage there. Let's finish off from Minus with the Leech is just enough, so well done there. Coming in for the gank onto Mickey. Sorry, as I was just writing some stuff down, and trying to make sure I get everything. Limp will be fine in that bottom lane, getting pursued a little bit up top. Pharaoh gonna back Chessie up, both of them level 5 of course. Chessie at 203 gold per minute, KZ at 307, so no surprise Case having a stronger time up here, but of course Chessie not doing too bad as well. The side, Wild Hunter, he's just sitting on the worst site there. There's a Catman, excuse me. So, worst site spotting everybody out, but Invis Engineer. And we'll see if he can actually land something here. Kegstone obviously is available, so is the turret. And Ravener having full mana as well. Corby's choosing to go into the jungle at this point, as he only can get some more farm there than he would in the lane. Probably not wrong about that. But does have the advantage of KZU being able to free farm top. And Minuts as well, choosing to go to the aggressive jungle. But of course this ward here will basically prevent him from ganking anything ever on bottom lane. Meanwhile, Limp will get picked off, so does support. So 1-for-1 trade there. And now Sandwraith's going to chase down Z-Freak on this Engineer, and he probably will get the kill. Oh, there's a keg stun. Will push himself forward. Doesn't actually get hit Flensmeister there, but there's the dagger. Z-Freak gonna run to the woods. Gonna be a kill. Nope. 19 health. So Flensmeister getting the second kill there onto Z-Freak. Gets the 2 kills, in fact, just a double tap. Not a double tap, but just the 1 kill. Or words, man. Ravener taking much damage there. Off to the side, Impalement there, and plus the Haste Rune onto Pebbles. They're going to kill Z-Freak really easily. Going to go for the next kill onto Swindlemelon. Blindness is here, trying to help him out a little bit. We'll put the stop there onto Riftwalker, and the Leech will be enough to finish him off despite the Bottle charges. Chain reactions there will actually hit. Last auto attack is plenty. Leech goes off to Torture, in fact, and Minus running around looking for something. KZU off to the side looking for initiation there. Will actually get it onto Ravener, and that's going to be a death there. Ball Lightning not going to hit, and he will not be able to get out. So 2-for-1 there in favor of Sync as they take up both Z-Freak and Swindlemelons and lose only Zlapt on that Riftwalker. Not bad. Of course, Haste from Pebbles helping out quite a bit. But Sync now taking a 5-3 hero kill lead. We'll see if they can turn this one into a win. God, Torture is just body blocking this now. He's putting more red. It's like it's 13 seconds in. Like, why would you be body blocking a camp there? Meanwhile, Torture gonna get spotted out by Minuts here, and he's taking a lot of damage from that impalement. Turn actually not gonna do very much, as it was misplaced a little bit there. Ball Lightning onto Pebbles, but he stun chucks him, and Ravener now in a lot of trouble. Will take the last auto attack. Chessie up top, meanwhile, also falls as Flensmeister comes in. And there's the kill. Limp actually going to try to get the counter kill on the Sandwraith. Will do so. Ice doesn't flow freely. That's just weird. Pharaoh trying to chase people down here. Not going to happen. Does not have Wrath for 15 seconds. Ward of Rev going out there will counter the Legion's Ward of Rev. So, there are 2 kills coming out here for the Legion side as they pick up both Swindle and Chessie, but they lose Flensmeister in the process. Decent trade. As I'm a little concerned here about SG's late game. I mean, Flensmeister here at 360 gold per minute, 340 for Pebbles, 330 here for KZU. So the initiation, the burst potential is definitely there for the Legion side, or for the Hellborn side, and that's going to help. It's really going to help create a lot of space for the Sandwraith. And the question is, can Chessie on that War Beast get his farm up to the point where he can compete with that Sandwraith? I mean, they're going to need Ravener as well, so Ravener at 197 gold per minute right now. Things aren't looking too great. Cascade event on top of the Sun Chuck, but the Chuck actually doesn't work. Ball Lightning initiation going to be there on top of Pebbles, but it won't actually do too much. As looks like Mickey missed the toss there, but oh well. And they're going to be looking for the initiation here. Magnus does not have a portal key, so they're going to have to have Pebbles come forward a little bit. There's Minots as well. They're going to look out for Riftwalker here. Ball Lightning will not hit, as he completely mistimed that in terms of the initiation. Wrath of the Pharaoh there. Nice 2 stuns on there by Swindle, but Swindle still dies. Mickey going to fall as well. Wrath of the Pharaoh, Sandray ultimate coming in will help pick up Z-Freak. Limp trying to get out of there. Chessie has the ability up there. The Warbeast ultimate 3-man stun there from Limp, and that's going to be enough to get them out. Leech on top of Keizu. Puts the mummy walls down and just going to decide, yeah, this ain't worth it. Limp wants more here, but he probably shouldn't try to take it. Giant clusterfuck that fight was. But it once again results in Sync coming out ahead as they went 2 for 1. Stun there on top of Pebbles plus the ultimate. This is going to be an easy death for Mickey. So nice pick off there. And the Magnus Ravener stun combination is actually pretty solid here. On the bottom lane, meanwhile, Chessie going at it with KZ once again as they've taken this lane from top and moved to bot. Hellfire there, doing a lot to Chessie really, but here's a creep wave going to help back him off. And here's Z-Freak getting spotted out by a bunch of wards. As it's interesting, nobody's farm's really taken off at this point. 360 gold per minute for Lamp, 370 for Flensmeister. Nobody else is above 350 gold per minute, so quite a few deaths here. 96 hero kills in favor of the Hellborn side, but not a ton of heroes going, oh yeah, I'm crazy farmed. Wormhole there from will actually hit, and is this going to be death here on his Swindle Melon? This takes way too much damage, and he will in fact drop to Keizu's Tormented Soul. So nice Wormhole there from Zlapt. And once again, the magical burst damage just a little too powerful. There's Tormented Soul once again getting out and annoy people. Fair initiation here onto Z-Freak plus the Sandwraith ultimate coming out, and that's going to be an easy kill on the Engineer. Question is, I think I'll be able to turn this. That's with the Vagabond leader coming in for something. Chessie's also there. Hellfire's off. This is going to be a little difficult. And Pharaoh will definitely drop here. Flensmeister perhaps in some trouble as well with Pebbles coming in for the counter initiation. Will not hit the Stalagmites, and they might not want to fight this anymore, as the stun will go off there. And actually now Swindle in a little bit of an issue, as he takes chain reactions, then stun there, a little too much burst magical damage. Puts the ball landing now, but obviously not going to be very helpful. So Swindle actually getting sandwiched a little bit. Ends up being a 2 for 1, and the freaking Swindle Melons both die, but Keizu drops as well. Up top here, what's Limp doing? He will in fact pour it out. I'm a little curious as to what your plan was there, buddy. Anyway, Ancients over here being stolen a little bit here by the Legion side. And Wormhole's going to come in, plus the Wrath of the Pharaoh will hit 3. It's going to be really strong initiation here. Limp doing a lot, and he will die, but there goes Swindle's men as well. Zlap going to drop to the NG field, and so does Kazu, so it's a 2 for 2 right now, but Flensby's going to come here. Phil will help clean up Z-Freak, and Chessie and Minot's just going to jump on out of there, so 3 for 2 in favor of Hellborn, as Sync continues to take these fights and go +1 hero every time. 2 for 1, 2 for 1, 3 for 2, and that's not bad. You know, Flen's at 376 gold per minute. It's interesting because he can't seem to get the farm up. He's sitting at that static 370 gold per minute for like 5 minutes or something, maybe even longer than that. It's really interesting that he has not been able to do better than. I don't know why. It's not like Sandwright's really a flash farmer by any means, but you'd think he'd be able to continually increase his farm instead of just having it be stagnant. Up top, looks like Limp could be in a little bit of trouble. Support off to the side. Perhaps looking for some initiation here. We'll just drop a ward. Yep, there it is. So let's talk a little bit here about Parasite. This is sort of why I'm not a huge fan of Parasite. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, actually, Pebble's going to get jumped on. Will chuck Ravener back, but Ball Lightning or a stun comes in, and Wormhole will be able to finish him off. So Slop getting the last kill there. Poor coming in here from Legion's side. And it will be Chessie, who's bad idea there, buddy. I'm not sure what the plan was. And Minots will be able to run away from this almost certainly. And that's going to be 2 for nothing there. Magma's Portal Key picked up, 15 minutes in, not too bad. Pebbles also has his. So I talked in the drafting stage really about how I feel like Parasite's a fun enough hero, but I wouldn't pick him over Tempest or Keeper. And this is sort of what I'm talking about here. I mean, like, Minus is having a solid enough game, 270 gold per minute, 3-1 and 2, so he's doing well, he's spreading damage, but, like, what do you see him doing? 6% of the total damage here? That's the second lowest in the game behind Chessie. Or ahead of Chessie, I mean. It's just, he doesn't do that much, you know? Building damage, he's got 0%, although nobody on SG's done any building damage, really. I guess it's just gonna creeps. And yeah, just the push potential here for Legion has not been very good. And I mean, that would address really two things with either Tempest or Keeper, is you'd have much stronger push potential, and you'd probably doing a lot more damage, because between the Tempest Ultimate, the Glacial Blast, the Elementals, and the Keeper Dogs and the Keeper Root and etc. etc. Limp going to come in here with the initiation on Nimike plus the Keg stun, and that's going to be a pretty easy kill on Nimike. Codex from Minots helping finish him off. Off the side, support on that Torture. Going to try to do something here, but won't be able to do much. Really, it's going to be a strong push here from SG. Chain reactions, no. Initiation there from Kazu, plus the stun away though. Here comes the ultimate from Sandwraith. And Limp gonna try to run away. Engineer perhaps the most. Nope, and he will die, so Chessie off to the side. And Limp falls too. Chessie now in a lot of trouble. He's gonna try to get away, will do so. Minus throwing out the leech. Swindle Melons, what are you doing, buddy? Not a great position for you to be in, really. And now you're dead too. So Codex there trying to help finish somebody off, won't do so. Chain reaction's gonna hit there onto Minots. He's gonna drop. That's 4 for nothing. And Sync looking really good here. Yeah, Flens, don't go for that, please. Mid tower, in fact, will be dropping in favor of Sync. And there's a CC dot. So, looks like we might have another short game here, and that's it. So, SG dropping a game here, going 2-1 in the series now so far. As Sync come in with a really powerful lineup here and beat the jungle strat with the dual support. So well played to them, as I think SG just, I'm not really sure how their lineup was supposed to fit. I mean, I think the melees and the pick of Parasite over Tempest Keeper are probably not such a great idea. But no doubt Sync played it well, they drafted well, and I did prefer to SG's lineup, I think, in general, but I think really Sync outplayed it in this game more than anything. So that'll be it, and we'll move on to Game 4.